everybody. Come on in. Welcome to this Tuesday evening program. Right? It is March 21st. Right? Of 2023. It's happening. We're almost done with March. We're going to be 25% done with the year 2023. After that, we've got tiny little 10 months. Boom. Something has to give. One of us is going to win this war. Trump already said. This is the final battle. Are you ready? It's all happening, folks. Welcome to another evening of news. I like winner-take-all situations. You gotta love it. Before we get started, as all you folks are coming in, let's look at a different winner-take-all situation. Kaboom! Yeah, take a look at the links in the description box. Ladies and gentlemen, saving money is always a good thing. It's always good to be the winner taking it all. It's even better when you can save money and get a practical, high-necessity item for yourself or someone else in your life. And it's great when you can support your favorite channel, chat patriots that you like, and you can support Mike Lindell and Truth and Art TV by filling up your shopping cart right here at mypillow.com. Check it all out. Take a look at these dynamic items. This is year-round. Forget this holiday thing. It's right there in front of you, folks. This is stuff, household items that we need. All of us use every single day. Fill up your cart. Take advantage. Laugh at the deep sink. Look at these savings, ladies and gentlemen. Save up to 80% on household items that we all need. Fill up your cart. Have a good old time. Laugh it off. And there it is. When it's all over, you type in. You're going to get a gigantic bill. The amount of your bill when it's time to pay, it's going to be gigantic. But when you type in the promo code Truth and Art TV, TATV, kaboom. All of a sudden, ladies and gentlemen, the price is going to be reduced. I mean, this is going to be like a nuclear bomb. Boom. And you're going to feel guilty that you're getting that much of a savings. Putting it out there. That is the way it works at MyPillow. Again, MyPillow.com. Check out the links in the description box that I have provided. All right, folks. Welcome. I love you guys all. I know that I love you guys all. There's some things in life that I know for sure. I know that I love the Lord. I know that I like to win. I know that I understand the plan, the situation that is unfolding. I get that as well. Because it comes from just putting pieces together. We talked about the normal distribution curve. We talked about math. You don't have to think about it too long when you think that 1 + 1 = 2. You know that it is. You move on to something else. Same thing with this war. We get the blueprint of this war. What is happening? What is unfolding? Everything that we were told was going to go down is what we are seeing. We have big stories tonight, but I'm just going to say, I already said it in the last few shows. Number one, we see that the enemy is front stage, center stage, right now. All eyes are on Soros. Like we said yesterday, all eyes are on this Alvin Bragg and all these Marxist district attorney. Everybody's like, whoa, what's happening? And when they see what's happening in New York, they're going to say, yeah, but that's sort of what's happening in Los Angeles and Chicago with Beetlejuice and all these. They're gonna. I mean, people are seeing it. Now they've got the fraudster going into hardcore neighborhoods, lying to the black. They hate blacks so much, but people are saying that the black folks are calling out these demons in real time. We were told they're not going to be able to walk down the streets. We were told that this was not just another 4-year election. And ladies and gentlemen, it's all going down. Now they're going after Trump. We're going to unpack all this stuff. We also know, ladies and gentlemen, that, like we said yesterday, right, we talked about a new paradigm that is unfolding, and the enemy cannot escape this new paradigm. All eyes are on them. And we talked about a couple nights ago about the template is being laid down. We're laying down the real template lumber. And we see that Hussein, the African fake homosexual former president, we know that he's super quiet because the template is being set. We're going to get these demons and these Bush Juniors and these Clintons. We're going to get them. We're setting down the template. Nobody walks away from them. And maybe if we have time at the end, we're going to remind ourselves we were told no deals for the real hardcore criminals unless you were called in right from the beginning and you've been talked about by Bernie at Truth and Art TV because we're reading about it on the Trump Department of Defense Research Project that there are certain people, think Lindsey Graham, and that they had no choice but to take the deal that we gave them back in 2017, 2018. If you didn't get the deal back then, nope, that's it. Nobody walks away from this. No deals. So we're going to unpack all this. And where do we begin? Yeah, we're going to get into Trump. Yeah, no kidding. Once again, Truth and Art TV, another prediction coming out, right? But it's not about me predicting. I already knew Trump was not going to get indicted today. It's too soon. The enemy was it's like the enemy's in the corner. At the very least, they have to call a timeout. They weren't going to let Trump. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. Let us begin by exposing the enemy. People are dying. They're selling you on the clot death shot, no matter what. Crimes against humanity. We have Senator Ron Johnson said what? It's going to be a real situation. Nuremberg 2.0. Get ready. And we begin right here. Star Wars. Harry Potter actor Paul Grant, dies at 56 after he suddenly dying after collapsing at train station. You're looking at this, just so everybody knows, I don't just throw stuff out shooting from the hip. I read the article carefully and decide, yeah, you know what? Boom. Let me let everyone know about this. Everybody, all these people that died, what is obvious, we already know, they all have the same situation. The doctors are baffled, and yeah, the cause of death has not been disclosed. No kidding. Let's move on. Crimes against humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, then we have this 35-year-old multi-year World Cup medalist dies unexpectedly. Of course, we know what is happening. Same situation. I mean, there it is. Again, people, we already know what is happening. Healthy, young people. This guy, 35, at the top of their life. They are professional athletes. They're loving life. They took on the world. They're living out their dreams. And boom, get out of here. That is the way this works. And ladies and gentlemen, if you think that's bad, get ready. Let's, rapid fire here tonight when it comes to crimes against humanity. The fraudster is making moves. Listen in.
What are we going to do about those other states?
Oh, my God. They're going to keep the outbreak smoldering in the country. It's so crazy. I mean...
Look at this statement. The fraudster, another segment of this. Again, listen to the fraudster. He's saying, oh, my God, they're going to keep this going. They're desperate. They need you to shut up and die like those other headlines.
Oh, my God. They're going to keep the outbreak smoldering in the country.
Laugh out loud. What outbreaks? So he's lying. They have people thinking, again, this is hard. This is all you need to know right there. You want to see how much the Democrats hate blacks? Look what they're doing. They're going in an offensive mission to execute black people into their neighborhoods like we talked about yesterday. And there, the fraudster, he is surrounding himself with all these people because he knows that if he walks into these neighborhoods, they'll crucify this demon in seconds. Everybody knows that. But it ain't enough that so many people have died, and we caught him yesterday lying, admitting that they have fudged the numbers, lying to that gentleman at the door yesterday, having him think that 600,000 people died of COVID. No, they didn't. Yeah, because you blocked them. Again, they think that you're stupid. They treat early COVID the same as late COVID when they're two completely different things. And they forced everyone into late COVID, and then on top of that, they changed the diagnosis so that all the hospitals can get paid. And now this demon, he's not done yet. Listen in.
It's so crazy. I mean, they're not doing it because they say they don't want to do it. They're Republicans. They don't like to be told what to do. Right. And we got to break that, unpack that.
Right there. Yeah, we got to, again, listen in. We got to break this up.
They're Republicans. They don't like to be told what to do.
Right.
And we got to break that, unpack that.
How you guys doing with vaccine?
Right there, ladies and gentlemen. That is the way this works. The fraudster is making gigantic moves. Talking about that we need to brainwash these people. We got to break that up. The fraudster is saying, there it is. The fraudster blames anti-vaccine mandate Republicans for COVID and says he will break their will. Right there. You've seen it already. There it is, people. We've got to break it. There it is. We need to break that. So think about the audacity these demons have. And again, the fraud. Look at the timing. In their demonic sorcery, they want these innocent black people to believe that the COVID, that this thing is still happening. It's happening so much. Come on, please, take the vaccine. What's happening? Nobody's listening to us. What's up with these people? Look at the timing of what is happening. All right, folks. With that said, I almost consider this a special topic for tonight. This is a big, big deal. This is a serious situation. Ladies and gentlemen, bear with me on this. The war is real. There's a reason I'm going to play this. Listen.
By some accounts, this has devolved into a proxy war between the MAGA crowd and a woke mob. The Inn's restaurant and tap room closed Monday with the sign.
All right, folks, let me give everybody a little context. This is some sort of a restaurant, bar, whatever this is, somewhere in Maryland, where there's a war going on in the neighborhood. You're not going to believe this. Think segregation, think KKK, the Democrat KKK, think the war is real, think they need you divided, think this is the final battle of humanity.
Posted saying it was to give the staff a much-needed day of rest. They tried to bury us, it says on a window. They didn't know we are seeds.
My staff with disrespect, and he refuses to do so, yes.
The battle started a year ago.
No, I'm going to go, but I just want to know whether I'm banned or not. And I'm happy to go. You are banned. Yes, you are not allowed to come back in here.
A soon-to-be circuit court judge and his friend banned from the bar in this police body cam video obtained by the Hagerstown Herald Mail.
They call us saying you're being rude or something like that.
No, I mean, I was sitting there, another guy was rude, and they said, hey, you go tell your friend he was being rude. I'm like, I was just sitting here having a beer.
It is not on the tape, but in the lawsuits, Neil Glessner alleges that after complaining about waiting 40 minutes for a to-go order, a manager told his friend, all of you old white men act like you own everything. Just get the F out. Neither of you are welcome here. The federal lawsuit alleges...
Right there, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're dealing with. And maybe I'll leave it at that. There's more to this, but you decide. This is a situation that's unfolding in Maryland, and these guys are they're not allowed, and now it's happening, and according to this lawsuit, all these older white men are being told, you know what, just go away. You're not allowed here. And what they're doing is they're coming up with different excuses. No one should be surprised when you start looking at the big picture. That's what this channel is about. You guys know. Come on. Why would I throw an isolated story at you guys? Blue State University holds segregated graduation celebrations. Think about this. Be aware of this. It's happening in all the blue states. And now, there it is. In Michigan, they are promoting several graduation celebrations that are organized based on students' race. And they're saying that these are held in addition to the university's larger commencement ceremony. So this is their way of rolling it underneath the carpet, and they're breaking people up based on their race, and of course, based on the fictitious category that they created, that being the tranny cult that we've been talking about a lot. So be aware of this. and they're sliding it in Michigan under the table. What we have, you guys have graduated, and now come to the real graduation. Wink, wink. The segregated one. Get these other. And if you read it, people, everybody is welcome to the segregated graduation, except get out of here with this white thing. These white male, conservative, right-wing Christian male. Get out of here with that. The war is real, ladies and gentlemen. But again, we know from the beginning that this was their plan all along, the enemy. They want us divided. That's a big part of the war that we are in. If you're new to this channel, welcome. This is a channel that covers the war that we're in. We cover it in the context of logic and reason. We look at verifiable news. We look at everything in the context of the war manual that we have. The digital war manual that we were given by President Trump starting in October of 2017, October 28th to be exact, 3 weeks after he said this is the calm before the storm. The online digital war manual parked on Department of Defense servers, because we were following this digital war manual that has been rolling right along for 6+ years. We have a lot of information that mostly everyone already knew. It's just a regurgitation of different links and organizing the information in the right context so that you and I can understand what's happening in this final battle, this war that we're in, this war against Satan's army. So we refer to that, and we, of course, refer to the biblical worldview. How can you not? Because the real battles that are taking place, the war that the left is waging against us, almost all of their movements are atheist-like movements. So the only way to hit that is to combat that is with the Word of God, with the Bible. So with that said, this, you guys know, is one of the big wars that they are waging against us. And this is a big one. This is one of the 3 big categories that we covered on the members channel recently. Actually 4 categories, but you guys get it. With the vaccine being the 4th one, this being the climate call. And everyone, I just want to throw it out. Be aware that United Nations, this phony organization, this useless organization that's committed to promoting the Nazi world order. If you're not sure what that is, ask somebody in the comment section. So, which is the New World Order. So the UN, they're coming out. There it is, people. Newest climate report is a woke dumpster fire masquerading as science. That is what it is. And ladies and gentlemen, be aware that the United Nations is coming out with this situation. Look at this. Like clockwise, the United Nations is out with yet another climate report, and the usual suspects are already blaring the global warming alarm sirens. And be aware of this. New York Times is pushing this. They warn the planet is on track to what? Quote, to cross a critical threshold for global warming within the next decade. You think they would have learned by now. And the only way to, quote, hold global warming to relatively safe levels would require global cooperation, billions of dollars, and big changes. Really? What type of changes? And the Associated Press declared the world is on thin ice due to the warming. Yeah, don't mind the oxymoron, right? We are on thin ice due to the warming. And there it is, people. They're coming out. This United Nations is putting out this survival guide. Really? If we don't follow it, we'll see the worst effects of climate change. Be aware of this monkey business. They're tripling down again, these demons. And in this article, to make it kind of, they point out that if you read all the key words that they're using, it's a laugh out loud. It's the same key words used by the elites. Yeah, these woke buzzwords throughout this 36-page report that uses the word equity and inequity all the time. 31 times. And the words inclusive and inclusion 17 times. And of course, the word social justice and marginalized, laugh out loud. You guys get it. And there it is. And I just want to put that out. Be aware of this. And also, speaking of this laughable situation, look at this. No one should be surprised. Legal scholars theorize oil companies could be prosecuted for, there it is, climate homicide somehow. Yeah, now it's time. We talked about on this channel about how, you know, we talked about recently that they've got, we showed the other day on the live stream, right? That they have like the climate, not only justice, but now this ruling in Hawaii took place where it's like you have a fundamental human right to climate stability or something weird. But now, there it is, people. It's about climate homicide, if you can believe that. Think of the wording that they're using. There it is. Some legal scholars are ready to prosecute oil companies under the criminal offense of climate homicide. Multiple cities have already filed lawsuits against the oil companies on civil public nuisance charges. Be aware of this. Supreme Court soon could give at least one of these cases from Boulder County, Colorado, right? A hearing. But some scholars want to take it up a notch. Yeah, E&E News reported. There it is. 70-page paper titled Climate Homicide. You can see where they're going. This is all about the Great Reset. 100%. You will own nothing. This is Satan's power move. They're not giving up, people. You guys get it. They're not giving up. And all about the Great Reset. Obviously, you guys know it. I just want to throw this out as well. Be aware of it. There it is. Yes, leftism is a religion. Boom. Right out of the Truth and Art TV members channel. University gives Greta Thunberg what? An honorary doctorate in theology, if you can believe that. Again, this is a total sorcery situation. And same people, I guess, last year, woke students at Duke Divinity School proclaimed that God is queer somehow. And for leftists, the reverse is also true. Queerness along with the rest of leftist agenda, including climate hysteria, vaccine, race obsession, every other aspect of the left obsession are for them a god. 100%. We've been saying it on this channel. And again, people, let me stop and get to real issues. I've said it many times on this channel. You guys know that I'm 100% Christian apologist. This is something, by the way, I meant to mention the other day. I was reviewing the video and I noticed, I don't know if it was last Friday or last Wednesday, there was a day when I lost my train of thought briefly because this is what I was going to say. And we'll talk about this another time. Because I read some of the comments, emails that I get. Get this through your head. And a lot of you guys already know this. Everyone believes something. And FYI, there is nowhere in the Bible. Get ready for this. Let me say it again. Have a seat. There is nowhere in the Bible where faith is promoted and is intended to be something that you blindly accept. In other words, blind faith is not a biblical context. It's not a biblical concept at all. And stupid people that don't understand the Word of God, and, you know, without me getting too deep into that, I mean, I don't mean it to sound that way, but people that don't understand God and His Word, they think that Christians are naive because they are blindly believing in Jesus and they have blind faith. I'll give you $1 trillion. Show me where in the Bible. Everything in the Bible is based on reproducible evidence and logical thinking and overwhelming prophecies. And it's like based on serious stuff. And the flip side of that is everything that the demons on the left, not to mention all these other religions, everyone on the left, they actually do have blind faith. And maybe we'll stop there and talk about this another time. So when you see this, people, this is dead on. Everything that the left does, everything that people that are against God, everything that atheists believe is based on their religion. And ladies and gentlemen, should we start with the New Age movement? Maybe we'll leave it there because I don't want to get too many people worked up. The New Age movement is also based on faith. Goodbye. You guys out there that push this, you know who you are. Thank you for playing. Goodbye. All right, we'll talk about that another time. All right, folks. I mean, understanding good versus evil, understanding who God is, and what I'm saying. Don't give me. It's all right. All right. So my point to wrap this up is, whatever you're saying, that's your faith. That you're putting your belief. You're either going to believe God, you're either going to believe Jesus, or you're going to put your faith in Muhammad, or you're going to put your faith in yourself, like a lot of people do. Fine, but don't play around like you're some neutral. You know, this somehow this you're the, you know, you're not taking sides. You're just this generic, neutral, objective person. Laugh out loud. But anyway. Let's take things serious, folks. The war is real, and let's take a trip across the ocean. Actually, we're still here, right? Pentagon. But you guys get it. There it is. Be aware of this, ladies and gentlemen. Big situation. Pentagon scraps plan to build new tanks for Ukraine in bid to accelerate delivery, according to this report. Yeah, so, yeah, we get it. So the Nazis... What? Build new tanks for the Ukrainian Nazis? We have to win now because Xi Jinping is moving too fast for us. That's what's happening. Scratch that plan. Just give him what we have. I could just see these demons on the... Give him anything. Bernie's going to be laughing at us on his podcast, but don't worry. Give him it. Forget Bill. Do it. Come on. Scotty, do it. That's what they're doing. They are now in a desperate situation, the Nazis of the Nazi world order, which includes the UK, the EU, Soros, and all these guys, the Klaus Schwab, and America, the US, the fake version of America that now is in day number 790, this final version of the old America that we are watching them self-destruct, which we're going to talk big about this. This is where we are, folks. We are watching the old America self-destruct, like we were told on, that Department of Defense research project. We were told that we were going to see the systematic destruction of the old guard. Of course, Trump said that himself a trillion times in his video that got him elected in 2016 and other videos. Because there is no difference between Trump and his online research project. Same thing. Boom. Like we said in January, February of 2018. So anyway, folks, they're panicking, and like it says in this article, initial plan to order 31 new Abrams directly, these tanks, directly from industry would require up to 2 years to build and deliver to Ukraine. And there it is. The Pentagon is saying, what? 2 years? No, we can't wait. We need to get these tanks to our Lord and Savior, because Bernie just said that you have to worship someone. In our case, we are the Nazi world order, and we are worshiping Zelensky in Ukraine. Everybody has a savior. Don't let anyone gaslight you. And that is the reason we're seeing this. The lines are drawn. China and Russia sign major economic agreement today. Boom. And, ladies and gentlemen, you know, you decide. We've been laying out this template of what is happening with Trump's little buddies. Look at these guys. They're like laughing it off. They are so happy. They have the same looking kind of book. And look, we both have read books. But there it is. Like they have now, like I said there, China and Russia signed economic agreement while the Ukraine-Russia war continues. Think about how this is panicking the Pentagon, the neo-Nazis, and the fake regime. There it is. Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin signed an agreement to expand their economic ties during a bilateral meeting in Moscow. And then add to that, look at this. Xi Jinping uses Russia trip to position China as the winner of Ukraine invasion. And the right-wing media is having a heart attack because, you know, they don't want to listen to truth in our TV. And they believe whatever the intel is telling them, laugh out loud, and they think that, yeah, that Ukraine, you know, we got to support Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, if all these right-wing media websites, if they don't support Ukraine, they'll do something to defund all these people. So they want to remain financially alive, and I guess they're forced to side with the Nazis, and there it is. They're whining. Ah, look at this. Chinese dictator Xi Jinping emphasized on Monday that his visit with Russian leader Vladimir Putin charged with human rights crimes before the International Criminal Court. Yeah, right. This charges that totally bogus charges. But anyway, less than a week ago, is intended to promote friendship, cooperation, and peace, positioning China as the mediator in the ongoing invasion of Ukraine. That is the way that it works, which is the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, they are panicking. Like we played in that video, in that headline yesterday. In the video yesterday. What? Anything that involves peace? No, we need war now. Get the tanks out there now. We need war. That's what's happening. So you decide. We've been clear about this on this channel. These are Trump's buddies. Something is happening. World's alignments matter. And ladies and gentlemen, we have even more. Xi Jinping tells Vladimir Putin at Moscow meeting, right? Quote, change is coming that hasn't happened in 100 years. Really? Right there. What is Xi Jinping? Ladies and gentlemen, is like Xi Jinping on, like, is he on drugs or something? What's going on here? Yo, Xi, did you check with Klaus Schwab on this, dude? And it's kind of fun watching the right-wing media. What? The Chinese, what they call it yesterday? The communist world order? Yeah, because we love the Nazi world order, whatever they called it yesterday, right? In the communist world order, which is nothing, these communists are going to be like, yo, Trump, what's up? We're going to run our countries, you run yours, and then whatever's going to happen. Obviously, in the end, the Bible tells us how this is going to end. So it's either that or the Nazi world order, where America is permanently destroyed and there is no more America, and we are useless, we're nothing, you will own nothing, and the Nazis laugh it off. While all the countries, you have Muslims running around laughing it off with their Nazis, just like we said in the Truth in Our TV neo-Nazi series from over a year ago. Amazing how that, we said it, that the Nazis and the hardcore Muslim Brotherhood, the neo-Nazis and the Muslim Brotherhoods go together. Expand your thinking. So we can either enjoy our Nazi Islamic Caliphate world order, or we can let the enemies of the Nazis step in, boom, and do their thing, which is what is happening, while they stabilize things, and then Trump, with them destroying Trump's enemies, our enemies, the Nazis, then Trump steps right back in. Kaboom. Why? Because we have gold under our feet. We have plenty of energy and liquid gold under our feet. That is the way this works, but you decide. All right, there it is. Xi Jinping, they're coming out with this big situation saying that, you heard it right there, Xi Jinping saying the change is coming that hasn't happened in 100 years, and we are driving this change together, me and my buddy, Vladimir Putin. Yeah, you guys do what you got to do. Hey, Trump's buddies, would you mind taking out these Nazis, these UK Nazis, and this European Union Nazis, and the NATO Nazis, And Zelensky, can you please take out the Nazi in Canada? Thank you. We love you guys. Come on, get it done. You're either with the Nazis or you're with this new alliance. Nobody walks away from that. All right, folks. Let's move on. Let's move on to big topic. Let's get to the real issues with Trump. And before we do that, actually, why are they coming after Trump? It should be easy and clear for you to see. Let's listen to some of this because it is relevant. Actually, this is what is actually happening.
Any reaction to House GOP threw memo about your family dealing there?
The family dealing.
Dealing that Hunter Biden's business associate sent over $1 million to 3 of your family members. Any reaction to that report?
That's not true.
Joe's walking
Right there.
away from that reporter like she has a gun instead of a mic. Have you ever seen the man move that fast? Show that again. And what exactly isn't true? Joe told us he never spoke to Hunter about his business deals. So how does Biden know if the business deal wasn't true if he doesn't speak to him about his business deals? Shouldn't he just stuck with the old, I don't know, his answer for everything else? And now we have a split in the family. Hunter says it's true. Hunter admitted Friday that he got paid by China. Did Joe not get the memo that Hunter confessed already? And then we have the bank records that show the Biden family took $1 million from this shady China deal. Is Joe going to get now 51 intelligence agents to say the bank records are a Russian disinformation? We have hard evidence that the Chinese bribed the Bidens, and Comer's all over it.
We don't know what the Bidens did in return for this money. The lawyer said that it was seed capital for a business. We haven't been able to find a business. There was a message that Hunter was very frustrated with one of these business partners in China, that he had done every blanking thing they had ever asked of him. And of course, this would have been when Joe Biden was vice president. And he reminded him that they had never done anything in return for him. And then a few weeks later, this $3 million wire appears in the Robinson Walker account. And the very next day, they distributed money to Hunter Biden and then at least 2 other family members.
And so Joe's saying those bank records
Right there, ladies and gentlemen. Shocking stuff. Listen.
aren't real. And Hunter's calling it seed money. Seed money for a business that didn't exist. It's not like the seed money went into building anything. Like, they don't even have a product. It just went into the Biden's bank accounts and they bought drugs and cars with it. The Bidens don't have a legit business. You can't take bribes and call it consulting. And the payments come in a month after Biden left the vice presidency. That wasn't seed money. Those were investment returns for favors Joe Biden did to China as VP. Now, Hunter's own former business partner, Tony Bobulinski, told the Post that the money...
All right, folks, he goes on. There it is. And this video gets a lot better. With Bobulinski laying it out, saying, making all the connections, it's all there. This is the reason that they're panicking. Oh, we've got unbelievable evidence against Biden. Don't forget, what was it, 19 boxes or something that we found? 9 boxes? 9 more boxes? I'm losing count. What's happening is shocking. The evidence that's pouring out against the Bidens. And we, like you heard him there, again, we talked about it yesterday too, right? Where Hunter, his testimony is not matching what Biden is saying. So it's over. So think about that. And that's the real story. And in order to cover that story up, now let's move on, right, to what the big topic that everyone is talking about. Law enforcement don't expect Trump arraignment until next week. So there it is. All of a sudden, and this is a head fake. We talked about this yesterday. Was this a white hat operation? Be aware of that. A lot of people are getting this word out. Law enforcement officials are now reportedly saying that President Trump may not be arraigned this week. Yeah, because damning testimony from Robert Costello and from the attorney, right, for Michael Cohen, all is coming out damaging information. That's one of the reasons. And you think they wouldn't have known this, and you know they were spending all this resource yesterday, right? With coming out and with these barriers, police barriers, and what are you doing all that for? So there it is. Be aware of this. And again, this is straightforward. Everybody is seeing what's happening. And now they're saying that the virtual arraignment's not going to happen. And the source said law enforcement does not expect the President Trump to be arraigned until next week. And they're saying, which has been, as a Manhattan grand jury, which has been meeting secretly to hear evidence for weeks. So they have no evidence. We know that. And Trump is coming out. We know that. We already know what's happening. All right, folks. So all these attorneys are coming out. Everybody's calling this out. They have no case. And they're trying to upgrade this misdemeanor, this whole thing. So with that said, be aware of this. This demon comes out. We will not be intimidated. Manhattan DA speaks out after House GOP gets involved in possible Trump indictment. Yes, you will be intimidated. Not only that, yet will this guy be arrested soon? Remember, if this guy does not get arrested soon, we don't have a country. I'm going to introduce this idea tonight. Will he be arrested soon? We are going to find out. And will the military be called in to arrest this guy? Don't think that it won't happen that way. So be aware. And there it is. Office of Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg issued a statement Tuesday after House Republicans called on Bragg to testify about his possible indictment of Trump. We will not be intimidated by attempts to undermine the justice process. Yeah, right. Nor will we let baseless accusations really deter us from fairly applying the law somehow. So in every prosecution, we follow the law without fear. Yeah, right. Or favor to uncover the truth. Our skilled, honest, and dedicated lawyers remain hard at work. So he is treating this like a joke. They're gaslighting you to their face. Keep this in mind, because we are very, very, very close to the actual precipice that all of us had been waiting for a long time. We are very, very close. So we have this enemy that's emboldened and is calling all the world, calling the world leader, even the leader of all the worst country in the world, the leader of the cartel terrorists, AMLO, even he's coming out suddenly defending Trump. You have world leaders chiming in. Everybody sees what's happening, and yet these hardcore villains, these Marxists, think that they can gaslight all of humanity, ladies and gentlemen. Then we have this. I just want to make sure that everyone knows about this. Political runs, glowing profile of Soros, New York City DA targeting Trump with indictment. This hardcore criminal, that will he be arrested by next week? I want to be the first one to say it. No one's thinking this way. And they are calling him what? Politics averse and by the book somehow. Really? There it is. Political, coming in with the political power move. And there it is. Now that he's doing that, actively pursuing a case that federal prosecutors found meritless, Politico has declared that the Soros-backed DA is politics averse and operates by the book. Yeah, right. And there it is. Be aware of who is doing this. Erica Orden is doing this in her new profile. The DA is framed as a low-key politics averse prosecutor, she is saying, who is preparing to take on Trump. And there it is. Be aware of this. There is her profile. Be aware of this. Only one of us is going to win this war. Big, big situation. I think that we talked about, this is a continuation of the theme that we laid out yesterday. Trump is posting this on his Truth Social. Trump, the conductor, is preparing everybody for what is coming.
You check the polls, you will find that Trump is leading the Republican field. That's the unprecedented thing. Taking out your opponent using the justice system. If the Democratic Party is allowed to do this, allowed to crush the presidential frontrunner, the main threat to their power, with a bogus criminal case, where does that leave us? We're done. Because that precedent will live forever. And voters will never again determine the outcome of a presidential election. It's remarkable when you think about it. So after all the yelling from permanent Washington about January 6th and how it was a threat to our democratic norms and the peaceful transfer of power, they've decided to completely short-circuit our democratic norms, not to mention the peaceful transfer of power, using the courts and prosecutors. What happens if they get away with this? No one seems to be thinking this through. Everyone's all spun up. But what happens if they get away with this? If they use the Justice Department, in full view of everyone, to settle a political score and to keep the White House, just to take a guy out of the race who seems to be doing fairly well? We'll destroy the justice system. And that's not a small thing. A functioning justice system has kept this country peaceful for hundreds of years. The purpose of a justice system is to administer justice so that citizens don't have to do it themselves. You outsource that duty to the government. But what happens when you take that away? When there is no justice system? What happens when the Department of Justice decides that its goal is not justice, but protecting the ruling class at all costs? Think about that. People are still going to demand justice. The desire for justice is an inherent human desire. We are born with it. But if there's no neutral place to do it, some people will decide they're going to have to do it themselves. Ooh. Now, we don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but we can say for certain it's going to be really ugly. So they hate...
There it is, folks. Trump setting up the stage. He's posting that video on his Truth Social for a reason. Getting everyone ready for what potentially is coming. We were told, we went over this the other day, what must be showed. There is a Supreme Court ruling that allows the military to be rolled out, but we were told what must be shown. With that in mind, Rand Paul says DA should be jailed. Trump indictment, a disgusting abuse of power. I want to show I'm trying to show everyone the change of narrative that it's happening. Boom. Rand Paul on Tuesday said an indictment of former President Donald Trump would be a disgusting abuse of power and called for the leftist district attorney to be jailed. Can you see the change in narrative? Moves and counter moves we had been talking about on this channel. Game theory. Then we have this tonight. Can you see what is happening? House Administration Chair Brian Steele, Alvin Bragg has until Thursday to come forward to Congress. Boom. Sounds like there's a shift in the control. Be aware of this. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg faces a Thursday deadline to come forward to appear before 3 congressional panels. Ladies and gentlemen, with me, I want you to join me tonight, shifting the paradigm to instead of being worried about Trump, let's shift our attention to the hardcore criminal that thought he was going to get away with it. This guy is no different than anybody from Antifa. except that he has power, and to whom much is given, much more will be required. His punishment will be that much more. We're not playing around. We are going to win this war. So there it is. Be aware of this. And, Brian Steele's coming out. We gave him until Thursday to come forward. In other words, we're not playing around. We look forward to his response. And he's letting him know. The Committee on House Administration has jurisdiction over federal election law. Boom. Period. Boom. Because of that, he says, so we're working with Chairman Comer, working with Chairman Jordan. I think the question that needs to be answered is what? Is this a political move or not? We know the answer to that. When you look at the facts that previous prosecutors have reviewed this and ultimately made a decision not to prosecute, he made a previous decision. He wasn't going to move forward, and now he is moving forward. What changed? Boom. I want to focus everyone on this. So Steele is saying what changed? Nothing changed except, and he is saying, the only thing that changed is that Trump is running for president. Now we know why Trump announced right after the midterms that he was running. And weeks before that, he kept saying, my announcement is coming soon. It's coming soon. My announcement is going to be pretty soon. I think they knew what was going to happen. And they knew the legal argument that was going to be made. See what you think. So remember that we were told what must be showed, and I'm going to share tonight. We were told, there it is, no deals. When somebody was asking, please, that the people would face justice. They needed to see criminals facing justice. Please just say yes. And they said back then, no deals. We work with you. We listen to you. Us, we, the people. You published back then the Internet Bill of Rights, and Trump acted upon it because they're letting us know that they work for us. Play the game with us. And I just want everyone to know that they told us back then, everything has meaning. This is not a game. Learn to play the game. And that is what I want to share with everyone tonight. We here on Truth and Art TV, we are learning to play the game, obviously. We have great opportunity to do that with these big moves that are happening. So I want to leave everybody with that. Learn to play the game. Understand logic, reason, understand the probability curve. What are the odds? Understand the moves and counter moves. Saying about Trump, Trump's going to be the president. This is about, right now, about Alvin Bragg and George Soros and those guys, the bad guys, that are obviously not only breaking the law, but they are threatening the safety. There, you heard it from Tucker Carlson right there. Once there is no rule of law, that's what had to be showed. And because of all that, there it is. Bomb threat breaking, right? Bomb threat called in to Lower Manhattan Court where Trump hearing is being held. There it is. Typical false flag, whatever you want to call this, that allows the deep state, once they do the bomb threat, fake the false flag, then they can, without even getting into this, just think about this. Think of what they have planned. Think of what happened on January 6th. Think of Ray Epps, Antifa, same thing. We'll get started with the bomb threat. You got it. Hey, this is a bomb threat. What? The Trump supporters are already issuing out bomb threats? Get it? The war is real. Moves and counter moves. All I'm trying to do is show you folks the moves. I mean, it's so clear to me. And then Trump is unveiling a plan. Ladies and gentlemen, this is really how we end tonight. Big, big stuff. Look at the timing. Trump talking like a soldier that knows for sure that he's coming back. Trump unveils plan to dismantle the deep state. Really? And ladies and gentlemen, hold on, folks. Let me get rid of Trump unveiling the plan. Look at the timing and at which he operates at, and look at this. Let's see if we can unpack this. Listen.
Here's my plan to dismantle the deep state and reclaim our democracy from Washington corruption once and for all, and corruption it is. First, I will immediately reissue my 2020 executive order restoring the president's authority to remove rogue bureaucrats, and I will wield that power very aggressively. Second, we will clean out all of the corrupt.
So, number one, destruction of the administrative state, basically.
Actors in our national security and intelligence apparatus, and there are plenty of them. The departments.
Destruction of the intelligence community. I love it.
Agencies that have been weaponized will be completely overhauled so that faceless bureaucrats will never again be able to target and persecute conservatives, Christians, or the left's political enemies, which they're doing now at a level that nobody can believe even possible. Third, we will totally reform FISA courts, which are so corrupt that the judges seemingly do not care when they are lied to in warrant applications. So many judges have seen so many applications that they know were wrong, or at least they must have known. They do nothing about it. They're lied to. Fourth, to expose the hoaxes and abuses of power that have been tearing our.
So we have FISA court. Number 4, abuses of power. This is going to be regarding the media.
Country apart. We will establish a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to declassify and publish all documents on deep state spying, censorship, and corruption. And there are plenty of them.
There it is. Keep
Fifth,
going.
we will launch a major crackdown on government leakers who collude with the fake news to deliberately weave false narratives and to subvert our government and our democracy. When possible, we will press criminal charges. Sixth, we will make every Inspector General's office independent and physically separated from the departments they oversee so they do not become the protectors of the deep state. Seventh, I will ask Congress to establish an independent auditing system to continually monitor our intelligence agencies to ensure they are not spying on our citizens or running disinformation campaigns against the American people, or that they are not spying on someone's campaign like they spied on my campaign. Eighth, we will continue the effort launched by the Trump administration to move parts of the sprawling federal bureaucracy to new locations outside the Washington swamp. Just as I moved the Bureau of Land Management to Colorado, as many as 100,000 government positions could be moved out, and I mean immediately, of Washington to places filled with patriots who love America, and they really do love America. Ninth, I will work to ban federal bureaucrats from taking jobs at the companies they deal with and that they regulate. So they deal with these companies and they regulate these companies, and then they want to take jobs from these companies. Doesn't work that way. Such a public display cannot go on, and it's taking place all the time, like with Big Pharma. Finally, I will push a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on members of Congress. This is how I will shatter the deep state and restore government that is controlled by the people and for the people. Thank you very much.
There it is, folks. If you listen to that, you can play it back. Trump is describing the destruction of the administrative state with the intel communities and implementing, you heard him saying, I think it was point number 8, where Trump is talking about literally physically removing these demons out of Washington, D.C. So that tells me that the New Republic, Trump has chosen to keep the New Republic in Washington, D.C. That's what it sounds like. And he wants to remove all the bureaucrats from D.C., flush out D.C. So that explains the story that we talked about the other day, where we see that whoever it was, right? Was it Mark Meadows or somebody's putting all this money and they're building, they're buying out all these buildings in D.C. for the Patriots. So, you know, we're trying to figure it out. All right, right? They're revealing segments of the plan to us as we move along. And now with this situation, with the fake arrest closer and closer, we're seeing a nice clear picture of how the new republic is shaping out, how this is all going to go down. All right, that is for your consideration. We see that President Trump is busy with the capital letters on his Truth Social, and it's hard to keep up with this, but there it is, reports, and almost everybody says, even after in-depth legal study and review, there was no crime. Trump is laying it out, this fake situation, calling out the fact that Cohen's attorney himself shredded Cohen as a liar and a convicted felon. So, I mean, we'll leave it at that. We've got enough of that. Really, that is what is on the table right now, tonight. All right, folks, I apologize on the Rumble side. Obviously, there's some trolls showing up because the war is real. They know that this channel is delivering the actual pure truth. They know that. They've succeeded for many years keeping this channel shadow banned. It is what it is. But this channel, luckily, I gave it to the Lord, so I don't take anything personal. We're getting a lot done. The issue is, are you able to get this information to other people and put these videos in front of other people? That is the question. That is what will grow this channel. That is what remains to be seen. And because of that, I invite everyone to come on over to the main website where you can share this website with a lot of people. They can see the latest live stream right here. They can watch they can go to the channels. They can see, when the schedule, what it's like, and they can go to their favorite platform to watch this channel, and they can share many other links and a lot of bulletproof arguments and everything right here on this channel, including you can see all the ways that you can support this channel. What is this project all about, Truth and Art TV? How long have we been around? And you can become a member and a lot of other things. I'll leave it at that. That is the latest on the members channel, where we are discussing part 5 of this, the weapons of the enemy and how to defeat them. See what you think? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your comments in the comments section. Get the word out. Help me to get this word out about this channel. And ladies and gentlemen, I, as you know, will be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. Once again, let me know your thoughts, comments. Let me get the word out about the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Join me on Truth Social. Get the word out. May the peace of God be with you. I love you all. I'll be back tomorrow, 9 p.m. Bye.